The Euphrates River is drying up and might as well be the catalyst for the downfall of the Middle East. As one of the most important water sources in the Middle East, the river has been a vital lifeline for millions of people who live in the region. However, in recent years, the Euphrates River has been drying up at an alarming rate, with serious consequences for the people and the environment of the area. It's believed that deep beneath the waters of the Euphrates River lurks an ominous supernatural force. As the river slowly dries up, people are left wondering what could be happening beneath the surface. The Bible tells of a prophecy about God placing something dreadful underneath the river for the latter days. This prophecy is described in both the Old and New Testaments, specifically in the book of Revelation. The eerie prophecy states that when the bottomless pit below the river opens up in smoke, an army of locusts will swarm the planet and inflict severe pain upon those not marked by God. This prophecy describes the release of 4 treacherous angels who have been bound below the river Euphrates, who will kill 1/3 of humanity when released. The prophecy goes on to say that the number of the army of the horsemen was 200 million, who rode horses with fiery red, hyacinth blue, and sulfur yellow breastplates and heads like lions. From their mouths, fire, smoke, and brimstone poured out, causing 1/3 of mankind to be killed. It's important to note that the army of 200 million is not human, but rather a host of supernatural creatures. This prophecy has been interpreted in various ways, but what is certain is that something terrifying and powerful is lying in wait under the Euphrates River. The drying up of the Euphrates River has been a cause for concern for many people. While the river has dried up in some regions, the prophecy has not yet come to fruition, and whatever is under the river is still unknown. The prophecy of the 4 angels and the 200 million army of locust-like creatures is a warning of what could happen if people do not turn to God. Indeed, there are several other speculations about what lies below this river. Some believe that this dried water source will eventually be a portal to hell, where others believe it to be a gateway to another dimension. Whatever it is, it's most definitely something dangerous and powerful that could bring destruction upon the world. The eerie and mysterious tone of the prophecy regarding the angels has led many people to feel unsettled and frightened. After all, the idea of an army of supernatural creatures killing 1/3 of mankind is a terrifying thought. The fact that this prophecy has not yet come to fruition only adds to the sense of unease that people feel. As the world continues to change, many people are turning to religion and spirituality for answers. The prophecy of the river Euphrates is just one example of how ancient texts continue to influence and shape the world we live in today. Whether or not the prophecy will come true remains a mystery, but one thing is for sure: there is something powerful and mysterious lurking under the waters of the Euphrates River, as we mentioned earlier. Speaking of the Euphrates River, it's been a vital source of water for agriculture, industry, and human consumption for centuries now. It's also been crucial for the production of hydroelectric power in Syria and Iraq. But recently, the water levels in the river have been plunging. We've heard the spiritual prophecies around it, but what could be the scientific reasons? This drying is due to several factors, including climate change, drought, and the construction of dams and reservoirs upstream. One of the major factors contributing to the drying up of the Euphrates River is climate change. The region has been experiencing more frequent and severe droughts in recent years, which have reduced the amount of water flowing into the river. Additionally, rising temperatures have increased evaporation rates, further reducing the volume of water available in the river. Another factor contributing to the drying up of the Euphrates River is the construction of dams and reservoirs upstream. Countries like Turkey that control the headwater of the river have built dams and reservoirs to generate hydroelectric power and to irrigate agricultural land. These structures have reduced the amount of water flowing downstream, causing the river to dry up in these areas. All in all, the drying up of the Euphrates River has had serious consequences for the people and the environment of the region. Agriculture has been severely affected, with crops failing and livestock dying due to a lack of water. This has led to food shortages and increased poverty in many areas. In addition, the reduction in water levels has led to increased salinity, making the remaining water unsuitable for irrigation and human consumption. Plus, it appears that there are now geopolitical implications as the river is shared by several countries, including Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, and disputes over water rights have been a source of tension between these countries for decades. As the river continues to dry up, these tensions are likely to increase, potentially leading to conflict in the region. Did you know that the Euphrates River is mentioned not only in the Bible, but also in Islamic texts? According to one hadith, the Euphrates will recede, uncovering a treasure of gold. This raises questions about whether there are significant gold deposits in the river and what the consequences of finding them might be. While there were gold mines near the river in ancient times, they were not directly connected to the river itself anymore. Modern-day small-scale gold mining operations in the river are likely only extracting gold from the natural erosion of gold-bearing rocks in the surrounding area. Geologists believe that gold deposits in rivers are generally not significant, as heavier gold particles tend to settle in bedrock or in crevices on the riverbed. However, if there were significant gold deposits in the Euphrates River, it could have far-reaching consequences beyond just the climate issue of the river drying up. Nations could be affected, as gold has historically been a valuable and sought-after commodity. The discovery of gold in the river could spark a gold rush and lead to conflicts over its extraction and ownership. And if you didn't already know, the drying up of the Euphrates River has already had serious consequences for the region. The river has been a source of water for irrigation and drinking for thousands of years, and its decline has had devastating effects on agriculture and communities that depend on it. The shrinking of the river has also had environmental consequences, including the disappearance of wetlands and the displacement of wildlife. Now, back to religion. As the world anticipates the end of days, there are ominous predictions of a terrifying occurrence. The Euphrates River drying up is one such sign of the end of times. As per Revelation, there will be beasts trapped within an unfathomable chasm that will be released during the last days. These creatures will be let loose by an angel or fallen angel who will unlock the pit at a specific time and location on Earth. When the fifth angel's trumpet is sounded, a star will fall from heaven to earth. This star will receive the key to the bottomless pit, and upon opening it, smoke will rise and swarms of locusts will pour out of the pit. These locusts will possess the power of scorpions and will inflict severe damage and pandemonium on the earth. The concept of a bottomless pit raises doubts about its location. It's uncertain whether it's situated within the earth or in another dimension. Nevertheless, Revelation 9:1 states that the angels descend from heaven to earth, and then the bottomless pit is opened, implying that it may be a physical location on the planet. The creatures released from the bottomless pit are described as scorpion-like beasts. Although it is unclear where they come from, there is a chance that they could have been concealed within the earth all this time. This raises the possibility of the return of giants and fallen angel hybrid creatures, as mentioned in Genesis. According to the Bible, these creatures existed before the flood and were wiped out along with everything on earth. However, some of them managed to survive, as seen in the story of David and Goliath. This means that there is a likelihood that these giants may emerge during the end times. The return of these giants will make the end times comparable to the days of Noah, as stated by Jesus. Matthew 24:37 states, "But as the days of Noah were, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be." This prophecy is alarming and should be taken seriously, as it warns of an event that could cause widespread destruction and terror. As always, if you have any questions or comments about the topic, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative content just like this. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.